Do you ever stop and, really think about the mark you'll leave on the world? Not just like what you achieve right now, but what actually lasts long after you're gone. It's a pretty big question, isn't it? The thing is, everyone leaves some kind of legacy. We all do,
Yeah.
whether we plan it or not. So the real question, the one that kind of flips the script, is what kind of mark will it be? A positive one. Today, we're doing a deep dive into exactly that, how to build a legacy of positive impact. We got some really fascinating insights here drawn from the work of George Bickerstaff. He's a global leader in fields like healthcare, tech, finance, and his work really challenges us to look beyond, well, the usual measures of success, to focus on genuine, lasting influence instead.
Yeah, and our mission really for this deep dive is to unpack how you can actually do that, how you can shift your focus. It means moving past those immediate wins, the short-term stuff that gets all the attention, and instead focusing on building long-term value that's rooted in people, in purpose, and in influence that endures. What's really interesting here, I think, is how it forces us to rethink our everyday choices, not just the big picture stuff.
Absolutely. And look, this isn't just advice for like CEOs or world leaders, not at all. This deep dive is really for you, whether you're building a career, maybe raising a family, or just contributing to your local community. We're going to explore how you can make your impact really resonate, not just for today, but for years, decades even. All right, let's get into it. What is a legacy, really? I mean, often we think of, I don't know, huge wealth, fame, maybe a building with your name on it. But the source material we looked at, it suggests something, well, much deeper than that, less tangible.
Oh, it's definitely more profound, yeah. Bickerstaff's work defines legacy as the enduring influence you leave behind. Simple as that, but powerful. It's really about how people remember your values, your leadership style, or maybe just how you treated people, and the actual impact you had on their lives. And here's a key thing. It's not built in some single grand moment. Forget that.
Yeah.
Instead, it's built through everyday choices, sustained commitment, and a mindset of service. It's those consistent actions, often quiet ones. They compound over time.
It really reframes it, puts the focus on what actually matters. There's this quote in our sources that really stuck with me. Carve your name on hearts, not tombstones. A legacy is etched into the minds of others and the stories they share about you.
Yeah, Shannon L. Alder. It's powerful, isn't it?
So powerful. It just instantly shifts your focus from like stone monuments to actual human connection.
Exactly. And it highlights that the people who build real legacies, they consistently think beyond quarterly profits or job titles. They're not just chasing the next promotion or the next bonus. Instead, they're asking these bigger questions like, how have I genuinely improved someone else's life? Or what systems did I help change for the better? Make things fair or more effective. Legacy is super personal. It could be mentoring someone. It could be starting a nonprofit. Maybe it's just the culture you build in your family, right? But it always starts with intention. And then consistent action follows.
Yeah.
Always.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting for me. This idea of shifting from chasing success to aiming for significance. I mean, in our culture, everything pushes us towards success, right? It feels like the ultimate goal. But what's the real difference? And why does significance matter more when we're talking legacy?
Well, it forces us to look at our why, doesn't it? Our purpose. Success, as the source kind of lays it out, is often about metrics, milestones, tangible stuff. It's about what did I build? What did I achieve? Significance, though, that's about meaning. It's what happens when your achievements actually benefit other people and align with some higher purpose. So the focus shifts, right? From what did I build to who did I help? Who did I lift up? And what's kind of counterintuitive maybe is that aiming for significance often leads to a deeper, more sustainable kind of success anyway, because it connects with something more universal than just numbers. It can be humbling, sure, but it leads to that much deeper, more lasting fulfillment.
Okay, so if significance is the goal, our North Star, how do we actually build towards it? The source talks about leading with values and vision. What does that look like day to day when things get tricky?
Well, leadership is framed as this really powerful vehicle for legacy, one of the most powerful, and values-based leadership. That means standing by your principles even when it's inconvenient or unpopular. It's about being, transparent, fair, and courageous when others are watching, and especially when they aren't. That last part's crucial.
Right, like making the tough ethical call, even if it hurts the bottom line short term.
Exactly. That's a perfect example. That's a legacy moment right there. And vision is just as critical. It's asking, what future are you actively trying to build?
Yeah.
This isn't just dreaming. It means creating space for innovation, ensuring real inclusion, fostering long-term growth. So a leader's true legacy, it isn't just their own list of wins. It's seen in the people they empower, the culture they shape, and the standards they set, standards others then strive for.
That definitely pushes the focus way beyond just the individual. And speaking of others, the sources keep coming back to this. Community and relationships matter most.
Mm.
Now, we all kind of know relationships are important, but why are they so absolutely central to building a lasting legacy? How do they go beyond just, networking?
Well, if you think about it, legacies are fundamentally built in relationships, not in isolation. It's just impossible otherwise. When you invest in people, it could be colleagues, folks in your community, your family. That investment creates an impact that honestly outlives any product or strategy, any single project. The source prompts us to think about things like, are you actively mentoring someone younger? Sharing what you've learned?
Mhm.
Are you supporting your community, maybe with your time or your skills, not just writing a check? Are you really listening to people, making
Ah,
them feel heard, seen? These moments of connection, of presence, the source calls them legacy moments,
yeah.
even for businesses, right? When they genuinely engage with their communities, social responsibility, education partnerships, sustainability stuff, their impact stretches way beyond just profits. Ultimately, people remember how you made them feel, what you stood for, and how you made the world around you better. That's the story they tell.
That connects perfectly to the next point about time. Because impact isn't always instant, is it? Our sources really stress measuring impact over time, thinking in decades, not days. That's a huge mental shift from how we usually operate. Quite a challenge.
Oh, it's a massive challenge to our sort of instant gratification culture. Absolutely. But people who build legacies, they get this. They understand that the seeds you plant today won't bloom until years later, maybe even after they're gone. They have that long view, often going against the grain of immediate pressure. They value things like mentorship, systemic change, foundational work, knowing deep down that meaningful progress requires patience and sustained effort.
Like building that youth program you mentioned, the real payoff is way down the line.
Exactly. You don't see the full impact in year one. It ripples out. So the key question, whether you're leading a tiny team or a huge company, is always, how will this decision look 10 years from now? Positive legacy then. It's fueled by purpose, it's judged over time, and it gets magnified by others continuing the work you began.
That's such a powerful way to think about it. Moving from quick wins to lasting influence.
Yeah.
And part of making things last, according to the source, means embracing innovation, equity, and inclusion as legacy pillars.
Hmm.
What does it really mean to build a legacy with others, not just for them,
Mhm.
especially that equity piece?
Right. It means legacy isn't about keeping things the same. It's not preserving the status quo. It's fundamentally about making things better. And that requires innovation, sure, but also the courage to challenge norms and genuine inclusivity, not just ticking a box. The source asks tough questions like, do your ideas actually open doors for people who were previously shut out? Think about George Bickerstaff's work in health tech designing solutions for diverse patient groups, not just the easiest ones to reach.
Okay.
Or does your community project truly represent different voices? Or is it just run by the same small group? Innovation paired with equity ensures that your legacy doesn't just benefit the few, but actively uplifts the many.
Mm.
It really drives home that legacy isn't just what you build, but critically who you build it with. Sharing the process, sharing the benefits.
And this all seems to lead to this ultimate idea, leaving systems stronger than you found them. That feels like the big goal, the peak of a positive legacy.
Mm.
But how does someone, not in charge of a whole system, contribute to that?
It truly feels like the ultimate aim, yeah. And it applies everywhere: government, business, education, even just a volunteer group. Strong systems create lasting change, resilient ones. So building a legacy involves making those systems fairer, smarter, and more human.
Hmm.
This isn't just about writing better manuals. It involves looking at the unspoken rules, the hidden power dynamics, things that might be holding progress back.
Like the family chore chart example, making it so clear and fair, it runs itself even when you're not there.
Exactly. Or the volunteer streamlining the sorting process at the food bank so anyone can jump in. That strengthens the system. It's about training successors well, creating processes that outlast you, actively removing barriers and building bridges between people and ideas, organizations, communities, even families. They thrive when leaders genuinely care about what happens after they move on. As the source puts it, every exit is also a beginning for the next leader, the next chapter, the next possibility. It's about setting up that next stage for success.
Wow. Okay, so let's talk examples. Our sources mentioned some incredible global legacy builders.
Right.
Who were some of these people, and how do they connect back to the principles we've been discussing?
Well, the examples are pretty inspiring. You have figures like Nelson Mandela. His work in South Africa is just a masterclass in values-based leadership, forgiveness, leaving systems stronger. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, tirelessly fighting for gender equality, literally innovating legal systems for equity. Maya Angelou uplifting so many voices through her storytelling, building community that way. Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers, right? An enduring legacy of kindness, empathy, showing how investing in relationships shapes lives.
Such powerful examples.
Yeah, and Melinda French Gates advancing global health and equity through philanthropy, that long-term vision and systemic impact piece. But what's really empowering, and the source emphasizes this strongly, is that you don't have to be world famous to build a meaningful legacy. It talks about everyday heroes, teachers inspiring kids year after year, nurses providing that compassionate care, entrepreneurs building ethical businesses from the ground up, caregivers, mentors. They all shape lives and change futures profoundly. So the power to leave that positive mark, it really lies in each of us, no matter our job title or status.
That's a great reminder. So after digging into all of this, what does it mean for us listening right now? The sources give us some pretty clear takeaways, some actionable stuff. What are maybe the top 5 things we should really hang on to?
Okay, top 5 takeaways. Let's see. First, remember, legacy isn't instant. It's built over time through values-driven choices and genuine service. Second, purpose and significance. They matter way more than titles or fame in the long run. Third, strong relationships and truly inclusive leadership. They're like amplifiers for your influence. Fourth, think long-term. Plant those seeds. They'll grow even when you're not there to tend them. And fifth, maybe most importantly, everyone. Absolutely everyone has the power to leave the world a little better.
That's a solid list. And what about practical steps, things we can actually do starting tomorrow? Or maybe things to definitely avoid?
All right, the practical side. Okay, to build your legacy, the source suggests. Define what positive impact actually means to you personally, professionally. Get specific. Actively invest in mentoring or coaching someone. Support their growth. Embed your core values into everything, every project, policy, partnership. Make them real.
Be intentional about it.
Exactly. Think about succession. Who comes next? How can you empower them to carry the work forward? And reflect regularly. Ask yourself, am I building something worth remembering, something that will last? And just as crucial, things not to do. Don't wait until you retire. Legacy building starts now. It's ongoing. Don't measure your worth just by money or status or how much attention you get. Don't miss chances to invest deeply in people and relationships. That's where the real impact lies. Don't overlook how your everyday choices, even small ones, shape the long-term picture. And please, don't assume legacy is just for important people. It's for all of us, every single one of us.
This has been, wow, such an insightful deep dive. It's so clear now that building a legacy of positive impact, it isn't an accident, is it? It's a deliberate, lifelong practice, rooted in values, guided by vision, and really carried out through relationships and responsibility.
Indeed. It really clarifies things. The world doesn't just need more successful people. It desperately needs people who choose to matter, who choose to make that positive difference, big or small.
So as you think about everything we've discussed today, here's a final thought to chew on. If your legacy is truly etched in the minds and stories of others, what story exactly do you want them telling about you?